Yes. Yeah. Hey YouTubers, this is Jacques, and I'm here to talk to you about an experience I had with a great lens, the Sigma Art 85mm f1.4. Key is to look at the rails, and obviously this track is used. So this is Christine.
Hello.
And this is Sam, whose name I actually forgot. Oh shit! We should have brought that strap, no? That or this could be cool on the railway.
But maybe
Okay.
it's not as...
Well, it doesn't have to be that dramatic. Let's try that. What I was thinking also. Stay there. Try to get a blur in back. That's going to be nicer. You want to put a song, a favorite song on? So hey YouTubers, I really don't want to get too much into details. It's not really a review, it's just me telling you my impressions on the 85mm f1.4, the Sigma Art, and just, you know, how I felt about the lens using it. So recently I was approached by two circus artists who wanted to get themselves photographed. And they do what's called hand-to-hand, where one artist is doing a handstand on the other person's hands. And it's pretty incredible and pretty impressive to watch and see. When you do those type of shoots, what's really nice is when you can get the subject perfectly in focus and the background sort of blurry. Now, that necessitates what's called shallow depth of field. Shallow depth of field is really quite nice, quite dramatic, because it does add a certain element of drama to whatever you're taking a shot of. So you can have your subjects in focus, everything in the background is sort of blurry, gives a sort of fresco look to your shot. It can be really, really cool. Shallow depth of field is attained by one thing and one thing only, and that is opening up your aperture. Now, on every lens, there is an aperture opening. They call it what's called an F. But again, I could get into the details of that, but for now, as your number increases, the smaller the opening is. As your number decreases, your opening gets wider. What you do want is to have a lower number when you want shallow depth of field. The problem with that is that when you go into the realm of lower quality optics, when you open up to get that shallow depth of field, you lose sharpness in the image, even in the spots where you wanted it to be in focus. And that is why many of the lenses that do have a low F number tend to cost quite a bit of money. In the Canon realm, the holy grail of all shallow depth of field lenses is the Canon L 85mm f1.2. But that thing just cost a gazillion dollars. It's really expensive. Therefore, I had access to an 85mm f1.4 Sigma Art from a friend. And I said, I'll try it out and see if it works. Let me tell you guys, it didn't leave my camera. It's the only thing I shot with the whole time. What I do want to say, my basic impressions of the Sigma Art 85mm 1.2 is that the lens is an excellent lens for a couple of reasons. One is because just by its own nature, it's f1.4, a very low F number, therefore it gives you shallow depth of field. Two, the focal length is really, really good for going to do those run and gun shots, event shots, and it's just the right length to be away from your subject. You're able to talk to them and communicate. So it's quite a good lens. And the third reason why, it is super sharp when it is open. When you get to more open Fs, you tend to have less sharpness on the places that are in focus. But with the Sigma 85mm 1.4, you get that sharpness. For the price you pay for this lens, what you get, it's pretty darn incredible. So I was really, really happy with it. The only downside I had is not necessarily with this lens specifically, but with that type of lens. When you get in higher quality 85mm lenses, they tend to be big, bulky, and heavy. This lens is heavy. Sigma Art 85mm f1.4 is a heavy ass lens, but you will not regret the shots that you can get, and you do get used to it. Focus speed is quick. All the performance issues are there. It is fine. It does the trick and really gets the job done. Anyone shooting wedding photography, it'll be cool. Run and gun fashion photography, it'll be cool. Some of the circus stuff I just did there. Anytime you have to isolate that subject and get that bokeh in the back, you might want a lens like this. And another thing I did not mention is that when you do close down and you go for Fs that are higher with a larger depth of field, it is tack sharp. It becomes really, really tack sharp at around 11. It is really a sharp, sharp lens. You guys like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to comment. And don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.